How do you feel about Jasmine coming to the group? The first person that said no was Shanice. The second person said no was Jordan because you and Jordan weren't talking, so rightfully. Did we have an issue?
So out of 50,
you, Preston, what was your take on it, right?
Yeah, so
because you met these girls because of me.
So the mother of
Preston
it all.
is a grown man.
Okay.
I really look at him as like the elderly statesman amongst us.
Knowing what she was going through at that moment in her life, does it give you cause
When
for
she
pause?
came and watch What Happens Live, I didn't like the outfit either.
What's up, y'all? It's Brian Keith, and I'm back with another video. Today, we're going to talk about Summer House Martha's Vineyard. The reunion is finally here, and I have a lot to talk about. I have a lot to say. But y'all like, comment, subscribe, listen to the video.
Let me check my shit real quick. Hotter than the fire coming out my flaming lips. You wanna play with me? You can't play in me. On the playground, bitch, you can't play with me. Got it, want it, securing the bag.
Y'all, if y'all have never been to DC Pride, best believe it was a time. Had a great time. Definitely recommend. Second year doing DC Pride. Love. Another thing, I was going to do this review yesterday, but what happened was I woke up this morning and I saw there was extra clips cut out, especially with Amir and Nick. And I'm just like, okay, I didn't see that yesterday. So I went on Peacock and saw the extended version. Yeah. So we about to talk because they was keying for real. First off with, Noelle and Summer, and refers to Alex. How did everything lead off? And because we heard that you were inside Summer, so how did that happen? So he just basically like, we were just chilling over the summer, had a good time, we hooked up, it was what it was. And then Andy was like, well, how did y'all end it? Like, what happened? He was like, well, I told Summer that I don't want to continue. And Summer cut him off and just like, no, that's not what you said.
With her, and I said that the last time we hooked up, I told her that I'm not interested in anything more. And I thought we were good.
Like, it was a mutual thing, so get the story right. First of all, he's saying, let me continue what I'm saying. Don't cut me off. I'm like, ooh. But, then Summer had time to rebuttal. And then she's basically saying that because the situation happened with the miscommunication of Summer and Noelle wanted to talk to Alex, and Noelle not knowing that they hooked up. So Summer's saying she did know I hooked up with him, and before that Noelle snapped, and I feel like the snap was a little bit of misplaced anger because yes, I get that y'all are not cool. However, I was like, where is this even coming from?
I told her though, so we had. No, you didn't. That's a lie. I know, but I'm gonna debunk that lie because you did not tell me that. What I said was,
because I'm just like, damn, like you really snapped on her. I thought y'all were like decent, but baby girl just went off and just like did her thing, and that's where Summer just like, okay, well maybe she misconstrued. I thought the crass comment that I made about that he's been inside me was a clear indicator, but maybe Noelle was focusing on the lobster. Who knows? So to get on the whole situation about the photo being taken, mind you, me personally, I don't think that photo situation was that big of a deal. I get where he can seem like it would be like, okay, that's weird, whatever. However, it didn't seem that deep to me. Like girls do it all the time. I do it with my friends. Like, look, I'm over here with my dude. Blah blah blah. If y'all ever see me on social media with anybody, basically, you'll see a hand, leg. I shadow post. Whoever I'm going on dates with, I shadow post. I don't do a full post of face until I know we locked in. Like all my friends know, like shadow posting, okay? But he got upset because Nick came to him like, oh, I said you were Summer. He's like, how you know? He was like, oh, blah blah blah, told me. So I feel like it wasn't that big of a deal. But if anybody should have been upset, Summer should have been upset at Jordan for basically cop blocking her, because I feel like that was the catalyst to make Alex feel some type of way. And I also feel like the whole love comment was a lot too. So it was a lot on that. So they pivot over to Amir and why he told Natalie that the girls liked him.
did you tell Natalie that all the girls in the house was crazy?
And like all the girls was crazy over him. And like Preston and Andy, y'all peep Andy over here saying that? He painted Andy ain't slick.
More crazy of you than
That's
I was wondering that myself.
But even Preston and Andy was just like, yeah, girl, we was more crazy over you than they were. And then Amir brought up a comment about Shanice wanted to fuck him, in the house when she was drunk or whatever. And he was like, well, you said that, so she brought that up. Mind you, the only way Natalie would have known that is if Amir told her that, right? Hang on to that. So my whole thing is Shanice like, look, I was drunk. I said that I would fuck him. Me saying that I would don't mean I am going to, which is valid. However, I can see where Amir's, reservations, why he reported back to the girlfriend, and Andy was throwing shots left and right at Amir. I said, Amir, that's what you get. But I don't like the fact that Amir is trying to play down his comments towards Natalie, because he was just like, yeah, Andy was like, did Natalie cut off your penis? Yeah, he was like, no, it's still there. And then they get on the whole comment about their relationship.
Two still together?
We are still together. We actually are closing on a house that we purchased together next month.
You bought a house together.
We did.
What could go wrong?
Andy asked Amir, like, okay, how's your relationship? What's going on? He was like, yeah, we're really good right now. We're about to buy a house. And it was like, well, how long y'all been together? He was just like, oh, we've been together for 1 year and 5 months. And they're like in their 20s. I think Natalie's in her early 20s. But I'm happy that they brought this up, because they talked about how Natalie compared her career to Amir's career, and how she basically said, oh yeah, I make what Amir makes in a year in a month. And shit like that is just so demeaning. It's belittling. It is just like, I'll get Amir say, he's like, I like a strong woman. I'm very secure in myself. Cool, fine, whatever. I feel like what it is with Amir is in that, white picket fence mentality. Like, he grew up around that. Look who he grew up around. So he grew up around that mentality of white picket fence, gotta get married young, I gotta speed to the altar just to speed to get divorced. But it's just one of those things where I don't feel like Natalie's the right person for Amir. However, Amir has slowly unraveling his personality, and he's showing me that he is just one of them.
That was good. I've been good so far. For both of us, it's when the time is right and it's 80 degrees.
And if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. Okay. Andy asked him, like, does he think about proposing? And Amir's like, if it's right, it's right. I already have a ring out and this and the third. And it's like, so when is Natalie gonna prepare you to propose? Because Natalie has the chain around this boy's neck, and Amir just doesn't want to see it. So it was what it was. Amir just looked fucking crazy. So we get on Summer and we talk about, her having this horrible summer, to be honest. Summer got into it with damn near every person in this house. Alex, Preston, Jordan, Bria, Shanice, Noelle. Like, Summer really was going through it. And I feel like with Summer, her whole thing is like, she's going through a lot. She's not expressing what she's going through, but she wants people to, help her navigate through those feelings, which I totally agree. She talks about finding out the guy that she thought originally was her father is actually her father, and her dealing with the situation with her grandmother having surgery and stuff like that.
Literally drowning, and I didn't know how to ask for help.
A lot of your anger came out towards Bria. Where did the two of you?
So my heart definitely goes out to Summer, and I'm happy that she's not trying to make excuses. But she has to also realize that Noelle can have those feelings that she has. Noelle has strong feelings about her disdain towards Summer. And I mean, unfortunately, she can be upset about that because, girl, not only did you push her, it's like the verbal attack. I feel like people could take the verbal stuff, but once we start getting physical, it's put in your mind now, like, where else can we go with this? Right? You already crossed one boundary with me, a major one too. Where else can we go? And I think that's where Noelle's standpoint is. But Noelle, for me, she was coming off a little too much. I don't mind it because I'm like, girl, get your point across. But it was a lot. I ain't gonna hold you. So Preston and Bria get brought up about the relationship. And basically, Preston's like, I see Bria as a little sister. I love her, this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. But he was just like, we just don't agree on certain things. And there's certain times where I feel like she does stuff and she's very entitled. She's so centered and all those things. And then they get on a whole situation about Bria getting falsely imprisoned in the south of France.
In south of France, when it's a situation, you called me and we cried on the phone together, and I connected international law attorneys for you.
People were being racist towards her, discriminatory, all these certain things. And Preston was like, look, I got with lawyers online. I over here did as much as I could to, I cried on the phone with you. I tried to get you resources to basically fix the situation. And Bree's like, look, I was appreciative of that. And then he came over just like, but your boyfriend didn't do anything. Like, he didn't even help. Her whole thing was like, bitch, like he got me out of jail.
Rants, and they say, hey, I need some support.
But I would do the
and
same thing
Simon
for
was
you.
there and was not supporting you.
He was. He got me out of jail. He bailed
sorry, I
me
couldn't
out.
hear you.
You were arrested.
So I mean, if anything he was gonna do, he did what he was supposed to do. He got me out of jail. So Preston was like, that's fine, but I feel like I have never got a thank you. And she's confused because she was like, of course I thanked you, like everything you've done. I just feel like they are looking for things to be mad at each other for. And I don't think this situation is very deep. Obviously they love each other and obviously there's a strong relationship there, because I would be damned if I would be over here calling resources to help anybody I don't like out. I'm sorry, I'm not. So it's just one of those things for him to go out his way to do that. Obviously he loves her. It's just that they have a love and hate relationship, and that some people just have that. And like he said, hopefully they can sit down and have a conversation and figure out if they're gonna be cool or not. And if they find out that they don't fuck with each other, it is what it is, right?
To me, I do care. I'm sorry, this actually, look, because I really feel like I have like done a lot for you that's just not filmed.
Well, yeah,
and
you
so, like,
I checked in, but
Jasmine gets called to the carpet. Jasmine, she impressed me out throughout this whole entire reunion. I think Jasmine's frustration and anger is very valid, because she's telling them that you isolated me out of a group and you didn't give me a response of why. All you bitches went around, went on trips, went out to outings, did all these things without me. But then when we get back in my face, y'all try to act like everything is cool and sweet. She said the only two people I was cool with coming back into the house was Alex and Bria. Everybody else, it was an issue.
Jasmine felt like it came out of nowhere. Is there an explanation?
good question, Keith.
Anyone want to take this?
And my problem with Jordan is the fact that they had the conversation, I think episode 2, about why they were so distant. And that was the last time we heard about it. When they could have talked about the situation more, obviously there's some type of disdain there and some distance there. But when the viewer question happened, when it's just like, okay, Jordan, what's going on between you and Jasmine? What's the real reason? She was like, I feel like Jasmine was basically being fake and trying to orchestrate me to get with Amir and, like, you know, be a matchmaker. And it's just very off-putting. Valid. She was. And my whole thing, I could even add on to that. I feel like Jasmine over here, I don't, mind you, personally, didn't know Jasmine before the show. I just know her on the show, right? But watching her on the show, it did seem like she was trying to be Molly the maid, the housewife, you know, I'm a married woman, I have to change who I am. And then she allowed her husband, Silas, to be disrespectful, verbally disrespectful, and then threaten, you know, her livelihood of, you know, when we go back, your life will change, this and the third. So it's just stuff like that. I feel like Silas was, hopefully he went back and saw how he acted, but that was very much gave DV vibes. And personally, I didn't like that. It made me not want Silas back on the show. Like, the guy was very much like, it brought back like feelings from my own father, who was in the military. So maybe that has some type of correlation. I don't know, but he was very violent. But from what Jasmine's saying, maybe Silas was, you know, being different. But I like the fact that Jasmine called out Shanice, because they asked, like, why, what's the issue with you know, Jasmine. So Summer's like, look, me and Preston got to stop getting playing for the Jamaica trip. She said, because when we had our situation, everything was cool. I wish they would elaborate on that, but whatever. She was like, the first person they said they didn't want you on the Jamaica trip was Shanice. And Jasmine was like, oh, we have an issue? What's up? I said, okay.
How do you feel about Jasmine coming to the group? The first person that said no was Shanice. The second person said no was Jordan, because you and Jordan weren't talking, so rightfully. Did we have an issue? No one was getting along with you, really.
So Shanice is just like, no, I just didn't want any drama and, you know, our situation, But my whole thing with Shanice is, like, yes, you're explaining that you didn't want to have drama, but you said that, you know, there was something going on between y'all, but you never said what it was.
Why is it? Wait, basically, it's not just about Jordan. I felt a little type of way as well, which I'm telling you now.
And my whole thing is, like, if you're going to speak on someone in a situation that happened, you need to be all the way 100% about what happened. Like, what happened? We shouldn't be left up to, like, this is a type of situation. And that's why Jasmine called you out. Jasmine also called out Jordan, just like, look, my problem was I should have checked you in the moment and I didn't. So now that I'm checking you, I think everything should be cool. You know, they're trying to move forward and try to figure out their new found friendship, because, and I think there was a situation that also happened when Jordan talked about Silas, about the whole pregnancy situation. Personally, everybody should have talked about Silas.
Really didn't mean it that way. I'm really sorry. It didn't just cross your mind to ever bring it up to me yourself? Well, because I was coming at it from a lighthearted standpoint.
Andy asked Preston, like, how's your relationship with Silas? And Preston basically said, like, I don't really talk to him. I don't really fuck with him. We don't have no friendship. It was what it was. So Jasmine felt some type of way, but she was like, because she was like, Jasmine was like, Preston, I feel some type of way about you because, to be honest, if it wasn't for me, you would have met none of these women. I said,
Oh.
What was your take on it, right?
Yeah, so...
Because you met these girls because of me.
So, yeah, but that doesn't mean relationships have to stay the same.
she's like, you wouldn't have met none of these women, but now you want to sit up here and you can't even give me the decency as, you know, someone that was, you were in our wedding. So for you to then sit up and turn around and just act like everything is over here sweet, she's like, I just feel like that was fake and it was wrong. And this person's just like, oh, at the end of the day, you're trying to recreate history like you're doing right now. Like you already know what it was.
That was intentionally shady to mean something else, in my opinion.
It was.
Like,
Preston is a grown man. I really look at him as like the elderly statesman amongst us.
So Jasmine's sitting up here saying like, at the end of the day, like you didn't tell me what was going on. He was like, I didn't have to tell you because we already knew that the girls didn't like you. And that's the part that I have to talk about is the fact that he's saying that he already knew that the girls wasn't cool with Jasmine. But did Jasmine know? And I think that's what the missing correlation is like everybody else knew there was an issue, but Jasmine.
Not reinvent history because it's convenient for us.
Let's not.
Because you're doing that
history
right
reflects
now.
what it is.
All right. I want to move on.
If you were friends with Jasmine, like you're basically communicating that, you know, that y'all were friends, then you should have gave her a heads up, let her know that people have issue with her. You didn't do that. Right? Right. The whole Nick situation gets brought up, and I really feel so bad for Nick because this whole thing blew up, and now he's not even in a relationship with Tasia anymore, and that's just the fucked up part. So I'm happy that everybody called out Natalie because, first of all, he has an exchange with Bria because Bria basically says that, you know, I think that in that drunken state, he would, you know, he would hit, like, you know. And I feel like we can't, in these situations, especially in the Me Too movement and all these things going on, we cannot throw out blanket statements and we can't throw out, I think, or it might. We have to go off of like certainties because that's his reputation that people are playing with. Y'all already fucked up his relationship.
I'm touching, let's say, Jordan or Summer. You know the intent isn't like, oh, let me give you a booty scoop. Like,
okay.
I'm happy that Jordan says, like, you know, I wasn't uncomfortable with him touching me per se. It was the fact that he had a girlfriend. And I think that's what the basis of the whole thing is. Like next year, Nick, over here, eat some pussy. Do something. Beat knees deep. You know, get what she needs. So, I don't know. The conversation brought up about Natalie. Amir's trying his best to save Natalie's character, and unfortunately, we have example after example after example after example of this girl being divisive and being messy for no reason.
Not be a part of anything. And in the same instance, she ended up falling into everything and thinking that she was doing good.
Are you crazy?
None of those situations in the house had nothing to do with her. So what she should have done was mind her fucking business, but she didn't do that, right? So she then went over and you want to insert yourself, twist stories when people already told you not to bring it up because we don't know the context and nobody already knew that. They already had a conversation about it. So now Natalie's over here getting Tasia, trying to get Tasia riled up. Over here speaking for Amir. Amir's over here trying to defend her like he's a fucking lost puppy. I just didn't like it. And I'm happy that Noelle told Amir to his face, like, you want to sit up here and act like Natalie was just so aloof and just trying to be a girl's girl. No, she was messy as hell. That's the fuck what she was. Like, I don't really see what's really going on, right?
She was spreading lies.
She wasn't spreading lies. She was playing the telephone game, which is what our entire house has been doing.
No, she was doing that with things that did not concern her.
Amir friendship with Nick is basically destroyed. Nick is basically saying like your girlfriend crossed a boundary when she's a guest in the house. She was supposed to be in the house for you, but she came in for the mess. And Amir's like, well, you know, Natalie would like to have a second chance. Second chance for what? My personal opinion is Natalie came on the show to further her career and help her market herself as a real estate agent. Because regardless of the divisiveness that she did, she's a white woman. Even though she's Latina, she's a white woman. All she wants to do is further her career and do her thing. And that's it. Like Amir, and I think the takeaway from this whole thing, and I'm happy that they told Amir.
The fact that she purposely made sure to include us three, but not include that she was the one actually carrying the rumors.
You were willing for her to assassinate our character, and you sat there, defended her, and then when she got called out or the situation got brought up, she sat there fucking on mute.
Because you let us be assassinated by a whole rumor that wasn't even our fault. Because we're out of here right away. Do not go run your mouth. This is bigger than you.
Didn't say shit, but you were okay for us, our character, to get assassinated. Just the same way that he was okay with Mariah in her situation getting assassinated. You sat there and didn't say shit. But when it came to your bitch, cool, we get it. You gonna over here defend her, we got it, I get it, cool. But when it came to her, you would defend this
to the end of time.
I guess. But you let all of them be sacrificed.
Then talk about, because we knew the context of how she was going to deliver it was not the intention of what it was meant for.
I sound like my parents saying this, but looking at Amir at the end of this clip, I'm just like, Amir, why are you just sitting here looking just so damn dumb? Just dumb and silly. And that's something that Amir will have to deal with, because now people see how he is, and to be honest, he was like, I came here for community. Keep it, because we don't own it. Okay? But that was the end of the reunion. It was great. I liked it. It was like a little shade at the end where, you know, Shanice and Summer went at it. And it was just little cute stuff, nothing too crazy. I'm happy that Shanice finally stood up to Summer, because I'm like, girl, you let her play in your face.
It wasn't your question, it was Amir's. You took it, it was the way you said it. I said, if you don't...
She was genuine.
I saw...
But y'all, let me know what you guys think. Do you think that we're gonna get a season 3? I hope we get a season 3, and if we do, personally, I think Summer, Alex, and Jordan should not come back. I think Summer should come back towards the end of next year, give her a break, and let her come back in season 4. But Alex and Jordan, thank you for your services.
But we'll be seeing you.
Amir, the only reason I want Amir to come back is I think he's in a position for redemption. So maybe he could redeem himself. But also bring Mariah and Phil into the house, and bring 2 other house guests as well. But y'all, let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Brian Keith, LG, Black View. Bet you didn't know we the Holy Trinity. Now let it God stop a y'all and break your head here. Step into the room and get up in the bed. It tastes sweet, that's cause I'm good. It tastes sour cause I'm better than the hood. Cause I get you hyper when I'm running all around, cause I excite ya. Let me talk real quick.